reconnecting. Tonight's going to be this reconnecting night.
Oh.
So, look at this. Let's just see what we can do here. What can I do? Self. Let's turn her over to me. Ooh. Picture's real bad on this because of all the gunk on the phones. That is better. Hey, guys.
Yeah, a little bit better. You got a nice haircut today, Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. You really look good. Okay, Ryan. Now, how come I'm not on there?
Well, I don't want you
You're
to.
getting-
I don't want you to scare
I'm
me.
getting paid to be on the show. Come on, put me on.
I'm going to adjust this again,
Ooh, here we go.
and we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna reconnect because, again, in the world we can cure COVID, but we couldn't get the internet to work.
Well, there we go.
Now there will be
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
You got it.
a little bit of
A little bit
echo.
of echo.
Now the echo should be gone. Now let's see if we are on. Oh, that's scary. I did it. I looked like Dan Horner there for a second. Get the phone right up by your face. It could scare people.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're on. Brian Mansker. Good evening. Good evening. I'm gonna make a drink. Ruben Moore says, "Good morning, Ruben." Hey guys, how's it going? Good. If you have birds that you have imported through Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions, the American pigeons will be going out the first week of November. So if you have birds with us, Ruben Mora, you do have birds with us. To let you know, birds will be getting shipped out the first week of November for Americans. Canadians, your birds are ready to go. We've started to contact. We got to get the birds out of here. We want to get rid of them in the next week or so. I mean, getting rid of is the wrong word. Getting them to their final destinations.
Shane,
Shane,
talking about Feathers Elite auction birds that people had bought. Apparently on the weekend or around there, the race there that's operated by a fellow by the name of Big Andy, he had some great success with Feathers Elite birds, and I believe it was a activation race or something like that, and they were, I think there's 3 or 4 of our customers that have put birds in that race, and they ignited.
well, Ricky,
Like, unbelievable.
Ricky, you brought it up, and I wanted to.
Well, there's nothing that gets past me, Ryan.
I wanted to bring this up, but yeah, Mr. Big Andy at the Upper Canada one-loft race.
I don't know
They
if he
did
wants
the-
to be called Big Andy or we call him the manager of the Upper Canada race.
No,
He's done a super job.
UC's running that. Just relax.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Jason Mihalik, Thursday. We're shipping your birds out to you on Thursday. I know. Jason got mad at me. He said my customer service wasn't good. Sometimes people call and they want the updates and this and that. And it's my worst thing because I always got to give. I had a guy today call me. He's been waiting patiently. An American guy. Here's the best thing. I told him you got to wait till the first week of November. I always hate giving bad news. But Jason Mihalik, forget the bad news. The good news is your birds are on their way. Even though the screen is freezing still, that's okay.
Jason, we understand that you've been waiting. How long has he been waiting?
Since March.
He's been waiting since March.
But
Well,
it's okay.
But he could put the birds together pretty soon, Jason. He may have some good results. Let's get them birds there for him.
We got to watch him, man.
You got to watch me. I'm
you
like a
hear it in the
runaway
voice?
train.
He's in a runaway train mode. Anyways, wanted to say hi. Hey, Shane Dennis. Well, Shane, we're going to talk about tonight. I wanted to talk especially for you guys wondering about what I think about one-loft flying with combine flying. And we're going to talk about that here momentarily as you guys are on. But again, as Ricky did say, that Big Andy, in the top 96 pigeons in that one-loft race, the activation race, 100 miles, which Andy and UC have done a bang-up job.
Great job.
They're doing a great job. Okay?
I've been watching. I've been following it.
They've even trained
The birds-
after they got before they got the money from the activation.
The birds are in super health. I mean, up to speeds of, I believe, 1,800 meters per minute. Up to speeds of 1,800 meters per minute. The birds are in top-notch condition. That just tells me.
Yeah, they're coming good.
Top-notch.
Here you'll see, guys, on the screen. I will let you guys read it. And as you read this, this is the power of when you go to Europe and you hand select pigeons, and you breed, and you contact breeders, and you get them to send the pigeons. This is what Cam Van Troba writes. Cam Van Troba purchased pigeons through Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions on a Peter Verrees sale. Richard, you have been to Peter and Ian Verrees' house. You've seen their pigeons when you were in Belgium with me.
Yeah, they're right by the airport. Right by the airport there.
Yeah, they're not far. Remember they had the nice grizzles and everything?
Oh, yeah, Peter. Yeah. Okay,
and
so
his
I got a
young
little
son.
bit confused. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but
Peter and his young son, his name is Francis.
No, Peter and Ian.
Ian.
You're thinking of Bart and Francis. We were there too. Okay, but read what this says. Blessed out of 968 birds. Thank you, Mr. Peter Verrees from Belgium. Complete amazing results. Just talked to Dan Gagoric. Dan Gagoric bought birds from Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions as well. Listen to how the story goes, guys. Listen to the story. Guys purchasing pigeons from Feathers Elite, and guess what? They don't ever tell us this, but we do our research. And listen to this. Just talked to Dan Gagoric. He asked me, what birds is it from? Because Cam Van Troba won the activation and won a brand new Benzing clock.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I told him I don't know. I'm at work. He said it was a red. Only 2 reds in the stock loft, says Cam. And it says here, thank you to Bill Vulgaris, crossed with Elaranta. Elaranta was a pigeon that we flew in the Pioneer one-loft race that won Cam Van Troba a lot of money. Okay? And Dan Gagoric has a super breeder from Emile Denny's. Was a gift from the Pioneer Village. The father made it an original Peter Verrees grandchild. Whole pedigree was gifted birds from amazing friends. Thank you, Bill and Dan and my dear friend Peter Verrees. I like that. I'm happy with that. And you want to know what? The guy that originally made that happen never got the thanks. Richard, thank you for going to Peter Verrees with me and selecting those birds. And
I remember Peter's place there.
Cam and Dan, I know you guys don't contact us. It's great to see the pigeons that we brought to North America are still kicking ass for you guys.
But the other thing we got to talk about as well is these pigeons showed the performance at this one-loft race. But you also got to give credit to Big Andy for conditioning these pigeons to perform as an athlete.
Well,
okay, that's the way I look at it, as
Okay.
an athlete.
Okay.
And I mean, you could see it, getting speeds up to 1,800 meters. That means the pigeons are in top-notch condition. You got a pigeon in top-notch condition, also with the mentality of a real, I don't call it a homer, I call that a racing pigeon. And these pigeons have raced the fathers and mothers and the grandfathers and great-grandma and all the whole works. They're racing in Europe against liberations of 50,000 birds.
yeah. So when you come to play in a small one-loft race with 1,500 birds, it's a cakewalk. But what was nice to see on that again is Dan Gagoric with an Emile Denny's pigeon he purchased through us.
Okay, hold on.
It produced him winners.
Dan Gagoric's no fool. He's been flying pigeons for years, him
Okay.
and his dad. So he knows what to buy. He doesn't buy crap at a barn sale.
But no. Here's the thing. He only purchased 1 pigeon from Feathers Elite. And guess what? How many times can you go buy a pigeon? And it'll be 1 for 1. Cam Van Troba only bought 3 birds from Peter Verrees. And look what they did. Now, why are these birds doing good? Because Emile Denny's has over 100 years in pigeons. And Peter Verrees, good Belgian flyer, him and his son. Here's another one here, guys. Alfred, combination Van Zoren pigeons. We sold only a handful of pigeons. And in the handful of pigeons that we've sold, he produced a $100,000 winner in the Florida Pigeon Derby. That race had over 9,000 pigeons that started. So, Feathers Elite keeps bringing you the pigeons. Now, we know we're a little bit of a dirty little secret. But the dirty secrets, they're always the best ones. The ones, when your mom told you, don't put your hand in the cookie jar, don't eat cookies before dinner. We are exactly that. But you got to have a cookie, don't you? Anyways, on that note, I just wanted to say congratulations to Cam.
Thank you to me
and
for recognizing this. I'm following a lot of one-loft races, and I'm also following a lot of combine organizations and how they actually function and run their organization. And we're going to bring this up later on because just like, you know what I mean, it's just getting me hot underneath the collar, you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, let's go.
You're not very smooth in a transaction.
I don't care. That's why you got me on the show. You can get somebody else on the show, but that's why you got me on the show. Because I don't back down. I shoot like this. Right from the hips. Okay? Okay, let's go. Take it.
I just want you to let her...
Just because you got your hair cut, don't make you... Hey, wait a minute now. You're getting a little bit more over here, eh? A little more gray.
Well, yeah, that's because I got to deal with you.
You're not gonna be young forever.
Oh, yeah.
What's that song? Forever Young?
Forever Young.
Yeah.
Our one-loft birds are training good. Out already 100 kilometers. We're going to probably get the activation in sometime this week. The activation race. Elliot, shut up.
We couldn't train today. We wanted to, but the weather was just not right. We got drizzle. We got heavy overcast. And it looked like it was going to get better, and then jumping catfish all of a sudden. They got the dark clouds came over and said, you know what? It's not worth it.
Right.
The birds have done so well.
Now, yeah, the birds have done extremely
through very little sickness. Zero.
Yeah. And your training methods are tremendous. They are good. They've been training good. You've got them trapping good.
The breaking methods that I used were great. If you want to know about it, I have a book. Cole's bookstore. Or are they still in business, Cole's?
They are.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's about, see that? It's about that thick. Okay, let's go.
It's about that. I'm trying to get going, but you're just...
The only thing is...
Look at Mike Parrish. Mike Parrish just said it.
It's only this thick, but it's that friggin' tall and this friggin' wide.
Ricky's on fire tonight, guys. Make yourselves a drink and sit down because this show's going to be a lot of fun. I can already tell you it's going to be fun. I had some people say, I'm getting out of combine racing. I'm a new flyer. I built a beautiful loft. I spent some good money on pigeons. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to win in the combines. I'm going to go out and win. And the problem with that is yes, you're going to win. No, you say you're going to win. You're going to work hard? Yes, you are going to work hard, but you're not going to win. What most people don't realize is to win in combines, you have to have good pigeons, you have to have good system, but at the end of the day, you have to outwork the rest of them. If you don't outwork them, and you're training hard, when you think you're training hard, there is somebody training double or triple the time harder. Now, if you're a young guy and you got a family and you spent money on these birds and you're doing this, doing that, and you're not getting the results, and you get discouraged and you say, this is the first thing I hear, I'm getting out of combine racing, this is bullshit, put the work in, I can't get results, I'm going to only concentrate on flying one-loft races. Well, do that. You'll be the biggest donator to one-loft races around. I looked at Big Andy's race, okay? And I see people in the race. I see Wolf Hill, York Region Syndicate. I see Ingram Racing Group. Ingram Racing Group, this group put 70 pigeons into Big Andy's race.
Holy mackerel,
now,
yeah.
That guy, when he put 70 pigeons in, he didn't go and look and go, I'm going to pick 5, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, out of all his breeders.
He put the whole works in.
He put 2 or 3 rounds in. Whole rounds.
Yeah.
So now, most of you, out of 50 youngsters you raise, you pick 5 or 7 or 10 to go to a one-loft race. How many times do you pick the wrong pigeons and you left the good pigeons at home? You left the good pigeons at home. And now you go to this one-loft race and you're flying against a guy that put 70 in, or like Mike Gannis put 220 in. They got the bullets in the gun. Yes, people are going to beat them. But the odds go to their favor because they put whole rounds in. They select, but they let them all go. If I was a regular guy and I had the money, I could put 50 birds in. I put my whole first round and second round into a one-loft race. I'm going to have a good pigeon at the end.
Pick a good one-loft race. Like a race like Big Andy's is a super good race. You could just see the guy's getting good speeds. He's getting top-notch pigeons in there as well, which shows the quality.
But
so, you know,
if you decide to concentrate on one-loft racing and you don't send your first round to a race, or your second round to a race, and your third round to a race, and all your birds go out, if you don't do that, you will in the end become a big-time donator. A big-time donator. And I'm going to tell you, you all have a one-loft race. It's in your backyard. And that's where, if you have to work and take your kids to soccer and you have a life and you can't put that time in to beat the combine, that's fine.
Put them in for testing. That's it. Testing. And you don't have to, take them every day for a training toss if you can. Load them in your truck. Load them in your truck the night before, because I know sometimes you're going to work, you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and who feels you got to be at work at 5:30, and who feels like running out to Pigeon loft and gathering the birds. But do it the night before. Put them in the basket. Put them in the garage. Or if you have a garage, put them where they're safe. Don't leave them out in your back of pickup truck where it's wide open. Next thing you know, an old raccoon comes, he eats them right out of your basket. Get them ready the night before. The birds, when you do this on a system, they won't mind it at all. This is a regular system. They got basket training. Then you take them to work. Well, I work 20 miles away. Hey, take them 20 miles away. Let them go 20 miles away every day, 20 miles. Have a few scoops of seeds in the loft so when they show up, they want a nice breakfast. They're inside. Done. But you do that every day. Tomorrow I got to go 10 miles. Take them 10 miles. That's it. You don't have to work your, off. You don't have to spend a lot of money on gas because you're on your way to work anyways. So you just do that. And you just do that. Then on the weekend, your wife says, I want to go to St. Jacobs to buy some ornaments in this area. 60 miles over there. Take them 60 miles. Let them go. You're going a little bit over there, but hey, give them a little shake up in the brains. Right.
And when you go to the club for one-loft for the club racing, congratulate the winners because you probably aren't going to be one, and you have to understand that. But what you do is you put the pigeons in all 8 races. Bang, 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 bang.
All 8 races.
There's no holding back. If a pigeon can't complete it, he's in the bin. And you keep your little notepad and you write down your best birds on every race in your own loft. And at the end of the season, you've tested your birds, and you can still send birds to one-loft races, and you're getting double testing.
And if you don't mind me talking, if you're at your 3rd race, every race you kind of I'm like 40th in the club, 30th in the club. And then you got the guys that are winning, and they're running around with their chests out like, I'm superstar. Well, okay, but then all of a sudden, you win a 200-mile race, 300-kilometer race. You win it with that blue bar. Don't just say, well, I'm going to stock that blue bar. Now, he's not going to race no more. No, fly that sucker right to the end, right to the very end. Let's see if that blue bar can go. You might have had a lucky day, right?
Right. Now, some people write, I'll read J.D. Teal's. J.D. Teal says, I sent 49. I sent out 49. Everything I raised this year. 16 to the Hoosier, 6 here, 6 there, 7 there, 7 there. I spread them out. Yes. That's great. You spread them out. You sent out 49 pigeons. If we do the breakdown of that, you spent a good chunk of change. But you put them all out. That's very, very good. There's some people, they're going to put, next year, 13 in Big Andes. They're going to put, and that's all they can afford. But they're going to breed 60 youngsters. Their odds of picking are very hard. And, as Isaac says, but that costs a fortune. Listen, the more shit that you throw at the wall, she's going to stick. So, when a guy like Mike Gannis, and we use him because you can see it, he always goes under Mike Gannis. He puts out 200. Listen, he's going to have a lucky bird on the final race. The luck goes into his favor. He didn't get this way. He didn't get these mass results by sending 6 pigeons. He just don't do it.
You forget, he's going to get maybe, how many birds did he put? 200?
Yeah.
In the top 100 pigeons going into a race that has 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 birds, he's going to have maybe 15 or 20 in the top 100. But now, all those pigeons are prizes. Prizes, right? Because if there's 6,000 birds, and I've heard guys say, I did pretty damn good. I was 325th out of 6,000 birds. Yeah, you did do pretty damn good. But if you were 80th, or if you were 68th, or 47th, or 5th, or maybe you won, all those birds that are in that top 100, or whatever the percentage might be, those birds are what he's selling.
And the other thing is, and I can use this Ingram guy here, Ingram Racing Group in Big Andes. He put 70 birds in. He obviously has the funds to do this. Okay? He is not going into these races to lose. You go to win. Everyone goes to win. He's giving himself an army. Does this mean he's going to win? He might not win. But he might get 2nd, 5th, 10th, and a champion bird. And he makes his money back. Now, he could get one bird and wins the whole thing. Now he's up $100,000. They invest into this.
Then they can sell those birds if
That's
they
right.
want. I was 10th in that race.
But small guys that don't have the coin to send 50 birds out, 100 birds out, or like J.D. Teal, 49 birds out. They don't have that money, and they say, I'm going to just send to 1 or 2 one-loft races. I hate to say it, it's very, very nice, but your breeding quality will drop because you're betting on the one-loft races to test the birds 100% properly. The best test is still in your backyard, and providing you go to the right one-loft races that are run correctly, you'll be okay. But there's a lot of them that aren't running correctly.
I would like to address a few words to the people that are beginning with racing pigeons. And you had a bit of money and you spent some good money on a racing pigeon. Some guy told you, I got a friend, he wants to get rid of about 30, he give them to you free. But you said, no, I'm going to buy 2 pigeons. It's going to cost me $5,000. And then you took them home, and because you went and bought Wayne Gretzky's hockey stick, doesn't make you a friggin' professional hockey player. Okay, you got the stick, and everybody looks and says, wow, he's got Wayne Gretzky's stick. Well, what I'm saying is, you've got to go through. You're going to have a little better chance with those birds you spent $5,000 on. But because you're not talented enough to play the Jimi Hendrix guitar, even if you got it free or you bought it, don't get discouraged because you have to lose a lot to get there. You have to lose a lot. That can take. It could take 5 years. It could take 10 years. It could take 20 years, right? But you have to understand that.
It all depends on your learning. It all depends on your desire, and it all depends on everything. Okay. Now
that's what I'm saying. Guys saying, "Well, I'm going to pack it in because and you got to remember one thing as well."
I just want to read some comments.
Oh, you wanna?
Yeah. So Ruben Moore says, how did the Koopman pair breed for you? He's talking to Combe Van Zoren. Van Zoren says, I bred one from it just to see what it is. First cock I flew well, 7 flights, 7 prizes. Also among the first in the region, so he was happy with his Koopman purchase. Now that was a Koopman purchase that I think was around $20,000. He purchased a pair of pigeons from Koopman, maybe more. Maybe it was $30,000. I don't know how much he spent on the pair. Mm-hmm. But Alfred and Art, they know what they're looking for when they're buying pigeons, but they know how to play with pigeons. And that's where you see they can go out and afford to buy a top horse, per se, and they get the result. Now, J.D. Teal says, it doesn't cost any more to feed bad ones than it does to feed good ones. You have to test. You can't just send a few to test in OLRs. You're wasting your money. Now, Mr. Teal, you see what he's saying. You gotta test yourself. You gotta test in the races. If you just send a few out to one-loft races, in about a few years' time, you'll be really discouraged. I agree with you 100%. Mike Green says, the more birds, the more your odds go up. Yes, Isaac says, I lucked out with a share in Maurice O'Donnell's first and second hotspot against 5,000 birds. I also bred the winner of the New England Derby activation race this year. Okay, well, that's good. I'm not a big fan of Maurice O'Donnell. He come on to me pretty hard at Derek Walsh's. He come on like a real idiot. So, I haven't met Maurice O'Donnell, but I didn't like the way he come on to me or Derek Walsh, and Derek Walsh could wipe the floor with him. I mean, destroy him. But, hey, Maurice O'Donnell, you're very lucky that Mike Gannis bought your pied pigeon. That pigeon that he bought, it don't breed no winners. I know that. I got a good feeling on it. Hold on. Genetic Potential says, good evening, everyone. Isaac said, Golden Algarve this year. Maurice O'Donnell did it again with the first hotspot. Okay, well, that's good. I like to see him at the end, though. At the beginning is good. A win is a win anywhere. But he's not my kind of guy. I don't think. Not the way he come on to us there at Derek Walsh's. Nah. Rome wasn't built in a day, says J.D. Teal. New guys have to accept it takes time. For example, our family of birds we have been building since 1997. See? Since 1997. How many years is that?
If I could say something to the new guys again that are coming in and they're spending good money. And it is a little bit hard on because you said to your friend, I'm going to spend some money and I'm going to really do it. I'm going to build myself a real nice place, loft, and I'm going to do it. Well, then it doesn't happen because you're new. You really don't know what you're doing. Okay, you don't know what you're doing. So, and then it doesn't work out. Then you go to the club and I'm going to tell you boys, there's a lot of jerks in pigeon clubs. And a lot of those jerks will tell you stuff that, because they know you're new, and you suck it up. And it's stuff that maybe they don't even know what they're talking about. And they're telling you this garbage because they think it's like, for example, I never have a red pigeon in my loft. They're garbage. So, and then you think this guy's, he's pretty freaking good. So what do? You go home, you got 3 red pigeons. You know what you do? You go and twist their heads off because so-and-so told you they were garbage. And you think he's a big wheeler. Why? Like I'm saying, watch out. You get persuaded by idiots.
All right.
That don't know dick.
Mike Parrish says, guys, this is a question. You can post your comments in on this. Do you think clubs or combines are just as good to test birds as one-loft racing? One-loft racing is a test. But in all honesty, club and combines, where are you testing your pigeons? You get it at an affordable price. Okay? You can try to compete to win, or You can set your birds up as it is a one-loft race. Minimal training, okay? No darkening, no special feed, no special water. Just treat it as if it's a one-loft race. You're getting almost a free one-loft race to test.
That's right. Like you have to, you should do that in a club. A club is usually organized with a combine. Right, so you're going to be flying against a bunch of guys in a whole combine. Now, look at it the other way. Well, why don't you just raise young ones? Don't even let them out of the fly pen. Don't even let them loft fly. Just let them sit there and sit there and sit there. Well, you know what? You're ruining those pigeons. Raise them, let them out, let them loft fly, let them watch them perform.
Here's another thing.
And
I've had guys send me birds. Mm-hmm. And you let the pigeons out, and these pigeons don't fly at all. They don't fly around your loft. They will not fly. And you call him, and you're trying to be a nice guy, right? Hey, Gary, I'm having a bit of trouble with your birds here. They don't want to fly. How are they flying at your place? Oh, I don't know. I don't fly anything. I just send them out. You can't see what pigeons are lazy, what pigeons want to fly. And you can't see it. Now, here's another thing.
And then he can't believe it because he named that pigeon after his grandmother.
Okay, and here's the next thing.
Wow.
Here's the next thing. I'm adding to this.
Go ahead.
If you fly them yourself at home, in your own little loft, and you score them properly, right? And you fly them the race series, and then you send out, like J.D. Teal, 49 birds, and you kept 49 at home to play with, okay. Here's the thing. All of a sudden, you win Big Andy's, and you go, oh, it's 2-2-2, and you look, and you go, holy jumping. In my score here, my best pigeon at home is a full brother. Ah, now you start to see what birds can do it. That's what I'm looking at. More comments. Wow, we got comments that are pouring in. This is good, and we haven't even got into the good stuff yet.
Into the, where you stick the stick into the cow manure, start stirring it. We haven't even got there yet.
But we will be there soon.
We'll be there. Cow manure.
Hey, wait, before we get to there, we'll have to make a fresh drink.
Cow manure or cow dung? What's dung? It's a cow dung, isn't it?
Answer, JD Teal says, answer to Mike Green. I bring back my OLR money winners, but they are only paired to combine pigeons. Never OLR pigeons to OLR pigeons. Guys are winning for me in OLRs. Give me just what I need to send to other money races. Do I agree with this? 100%. If you're bringing back a pigeon from a one-loft race and you compare it to a combine winner or a top bird in your loft that's performed for you, you're going to have much better success. Now, the way people are goo-goo gaga over one-loft winning pigeons. If I get a one-loft winning pigeon, I sell it right away. I'm not interested in it. I don't need to bring it back. It's okay. It's okay. Because people are so stupid crazy to buy these one-loft winners, dump them off. Most of the time, they're not going to breed the super good ones. Hold on. Mike Green, yes, club and combine racing getting expensive nowadays too. Well, it does get it, but it's a lot cheaper than sending 50 birds to the Hoosier, doesn't it? It is. Got to be cheaper.
But the other thing too is if you're in a club and you're naturally going to be in a combine, probably. You know what it costs you to if you want to really do it good and hit these guys in the club and in the combine. You got to be I hate to say it, but you're going to be wearing out a brand new Ford pickup truck every 2 years, okay?
Master Breeder, he wants a little plug here. I'll give him a plug. Check out our results, MBL, on the AU website, Air Capitola Club, Wichita, Kansas. We had a great start. The first two races this week were almost 300 miles. Genetics, lofts, handlers, matter, okay, whatever. Good. Glad you did good. Genetic Potential says, most lofts cherry pick easy races, and they only have four race series. Listen, all one loft races are, guys, you have to understand, they don't want to race hard because they need you to come back next year. And if they fly the pigeons, like it's supposed to be. And there's not very many races that do this. And I've had guys say to me, oh, I'm going to run a one-loft race and do it. I'm going to run it and do it hard. I'm going to do it hard. You want to know when you're going to do it hard? You're going to start to do it hard, and then all of a sudden you're going to see the candy-ass pigeons people sent you that got no this. And when you start losing them, and the people climb onto your back, and they start stabbing you with the fork, you know what you say? Now I understand. Why do I only send them in tailwinds?
We know how it is, you know what I mean.
But I'm saying this. Now
I got a list of shit, you know. Not enough clouds, maybe too much cloud,
we don't need to go
too much wind, maybe too much sun, maybe too much, maybe too early, maybe too late, maybe too midday, maybe this, that's why, this is why, that's why, this is why, that's why. There you go. They're all doctors of what? Zero. What do we got? Trouble out there?
Yeah, go check.
Something's going on out there. Sorry, folks, I got to get going outside for a minute.
All right, Isaac says, note, Gannis's best stock cock, IMHO, is Starboy, originally owned by Maurice, sired to Miss Maurice. Mike bred Miss Debbie from this cock. I have a daughter to Starboy, and I have it on a cock from Starboy's full sister, from Jack Van Oakland. Yeah, I that's great. I'm not interested in it. Not my cup of tea. But that's your cup of tea. It's okay. I don't know anything about it, but I think. Boy, those chickens are going crazy out there. You got the lights on? Okay. I don't know anything about it, but I think that combine, you get to know your pigeons, what they can do and what they can't do, which couples are good or not good. This is why we say you test your pigeons at home. Alvin says, first year racing, I figured out pigeons that love treetops don't last long on the road. There you go. That's a good one. Our OLR birds are doing great as well. We did a 121, a 104, and 100 toss for our activation, 175 miles. First race, we are training hard. Okay. I'm good. We do train hard. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. I'm glad that you train hard, and that's good. I know I've trained hard, and I've got slayed for it. But again, training hard just different ways of looking at it. I think our pigeons most years, every year, they were trained, but they were trained around 3,000 miles. Isaac said Barcelona birds. Well, yeah, that's why I don't have to go to Mike Gannis. I go to where you get Barcelona pigeons. If you take into consideration, if you take into account all the time and money and effort it takes to properly train your birds to compete in club races, you could send a lot more birds to OLRs. Well, sure you can. But if you fly in a combine, you're going to pay $500 for a young bird fee. To fly young birds, maybe $500 to $600. You get to test between 30 and 60 pigeons a week. You don't have to give them special stuff. You put them on a simple system, like it's a one-loft race, and you get to test. But I'm not saying don't fly in the one-loft races, but you test them both ways. As Alfred said, and I'm going to put it back up here because I liked what he said. He's not a one-loft guy, but look what he says, and it makes sense. Let's put it up here. There it is. Read it again. I don't know anything about it, but combines, you get to know your pigeons, what they can and can't do, which couples are good and not. It's going to cost you a lot of money to do it in a one-loft race. It will. Weasel in the loft. We don't know. Something is going on out there. It's always a fun time. We'll have to find out. Europe, LOL, yes. If I want to buy pigeons to compete in one-loft races, I'm going to go to Europe and buy the best. Again, if I win a one-loft race in America or anywhere, I'm going to sell it to a guy. He can enjoy breeding out of it. I'm going to take that money and reinvest it in better pigeons again. That's just the way I think about it. The proof is in the putting. I mean, take a look. Look at the legendary Wolverine, one of the best one-loft breeders in the world. We come from Philip and Nicholas Norman. So, you know, if you want to win one-loft races, you have to continue to test your pigeons at home. Now, I know guys, they get discouraged. You have to remember your testing and not get so hurt by it. We haven't seen Ricky, what he's doing out there, but the chickens have quieted down. Ricky's coming back up. We'll find out what happened. Reminder, guys, this show works best when you guys participate. You are participating, which is great. Makes it a lot of fun. JD Teal writes, I talk to an Irish guy all the time, and nothing against Maurice.
It was a raccoon. Shot him right between the eyes.
Did you really?
I'll bring that in here.
I got him right between the eyes, folks.
Oh,
And this sucker
Ricky
with
did.
the old scope on her.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I'm telling you, my heart's still pounding.
You shot him?
I got him right.
Did he get any chickens?
He scared the shit out of him. He was in there.
He was in there. Ricky
This
got him.
old Remington, that'll fix his wagon.
All right, let me keep reading here, Dad. Nothing against Maurice. Definitely better birds in Ireland than there, but most of these guys here in the USA have drank the Kool-Aid and don't do the research. Yes, that's right. Most guys don't. They don't do their homework, and they buy pigeons. I'm not interested in Maurice O'Donnell pigeons. I'm not, and this isn't against him. Maurice O'Donnell's pigeons only know something, is only a name to the American public because Mike Gannis bought the pigeon that won. And if that pigeon was so good, what was the name of the pigeon? Miss Maurice? If that pigeon was so good, and Mike Gannis, he looked for the good ones. By the way, Wolverine was purchased for 2,000 euros from Philip and Nicholas Norman. Wolverine was brought to Gannis Loft. It bred its whole life, and then it was dead. It didn't get sold to another American. Why do you think he sold Miss Maurice? Because the dollars were right, and little old Miss Maurice that won a one-loft race by 48 minutes, she really couldn't breed the good ones.
Breed it.
Okay, Ricky. Wait, oh, Mike Green just said Ricky, the great white hunter.
Oh, good.
You gotta get a sling for that thing.
Beautiful with that sight. He was right in there. The light's on. He just looked at me. I just popped him right in the...
This might
Right.
answer your question. A
Oh.
ligament is the fibrous connective tissue that connects bones to other bones. It is also known as articular ligament, articular larua, fibrous ligament, or true ligament.
Good job, Alexa.
Thank
You
you.
just come on. You can see they say the government doesn't watch you. The government's always watching. Okay, let me read what Shane
You gotta
says.
have one of them rifles, so
Bef-
that'll help you right out, boy.
I'll read a couple of these comments before we switch some gears and go off to a little bit more of a touchier subject that is going to get people's skin to curl. And that's a good thing because we need
The other
that.
thing
Let me read the
too,
comment.
Ryan,
I wanna read.
is stimulation for the mind.
Yes.
Get yourself out of that.
Sheep zone. Get out of the
Zone.
sheep zone.
Get out of the... What do they say? Get out of the box or something. Get out of that box.
Okay. Here we go. I think, this is what Shane says. I think if there was more in what is this word? INCEN, incentive. If there was more incentive or prizes in club and combine racing, it would make it a lot more interesting. Incentive. Now, there's clubs that are trying to do money. There's clubs that try and do prizes. There's clubs that try and do this. But it's not going to work because all pigeon guys in clubs are all jealous and they all get bent out of shape. Which guy's training harder? What birds does he have? There's guys that have personal vendettas, okay? And then there's combines that the combine, and Shane brings this up, the combines don't even have a rule structure in place for when accidents happen and mistakes are made. You know, we heard this weekend, and
you're starting to go into
it shames me.
Hold on a minute.
It sure no. It
Believe it or not, cow manure is a lot harder to stir than
it's
goat manure.
It's unbelievable. Now I talk to guys on all different combines all over, and you hear stories.
We talk to a lot of different people. We're a very neutral couple guys here.
Right.
We don't give a shit what we say because it's not going to hurt us.
Let me get into it, and instead of you just
we don't
going
give
on,
it a cow manure. That's what we say.
Just shut up for a minute. Let me do what I'm going to do, and then you can
see. We're very hard to get along with. Okay, so what? Okay, yeah, go ahead. You forgot what you were going to say.
Well, yeah, because when I'm going into something, instead of just sitting there and shutting up and let me get into
I just got excited.
You get all excited.
I just knocked the coon
off.
off.
No, it's not time yet. Hold on. I'm sure in Europe, club racing is much different story, and there are much more prestige and prizes and money in club combine racing. Yes, there is. But hey,
in Europe,
you can go to a club and I can say, let's bet $100 a race. And you know what? They all look and go, oh, I don't want to do that. Because you want to know what? You lose $100. Because if I'm going to say to you, and I'm using this as Shane, I'll bet you $100 a race. I'm going to tell you, I will take your money. Because if I don't, I'm in big trouble.
The thing is, in Europe, there's different levels in clubs.
Yes,
okay?
That's right.
It's just not like here you got a club in this area.
And I don't mean that to Shane, but I'm saying when you put money down, and you know what, guys go out to win, and they can win. It's money playing is sometimes not the best, but if you do money, right, and the guys around you are good, and they play the right way, it's fine. Now hold on. JD Teal says no one likes a winner. Michael Peevler says Ricky just got his family dinner for tomorrow. The Great White Hunter.
That's
good
it.
Old Ricky.
And actually, coon meat is good.
No one likes a winner. No one likes a winner. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. That's right. So when you say...
Did you hear those chickens screaming the blues? Yeah, they're all up on their perch watching this idiot.
Well, you got him. When you hit him, how did he... how quick did he go?
He just dropped.
Really?
Yeah, I got him right in the forehead. Boom. Just dropped to the floor, just like that's it.
Must have took you hours to set that gun, but that's okay.
I was shaking. I was shaking.
I've shot it a few times. I'm still going to do it, says Shane. Yeah. Now, listening to this weekend's drama in Southern Ontario Combine Racing. I love this. There's a trailer on the East Coast Combine, the EOC. They got about 40 members.
I got a few words to say about it. I don't know how you're going to come into this show.
I'm going to come in to give the people the story.
The story. First of all, the story starts.
Can I just start? Why do you have to start it? Just be quiet.
I'll finish it off. Go.
You're the. Listen.
Go.
I'm Batman. You're Robin.
I'm saying that combine.
Can I just start?
Was run.
Can I just start?
Inefficiently.
Can you
just go? Now tell people why it was run inefficiently, and I'll finish it off.
You're gonna sit there, and you're not gonna say a word until I give you the green light. That's what you're gonna do.
Go ahead.
Colin Van Zorn says that's how it is. Okay. We used to pick birds for 25 in fun. Most clubs wouldn't get into it. They wouldn't. Shane Dennis says combines are a shit show. Now, hold on. The Eastern Ontario Combine, they have an old truck They have a guy that hauls it that's paid to haul it, and he's got 2 old trucks. Now, old trucks and long distance hauling is not good. Old pickup trucks.
An old pickup truck's good for driving around town,
Yeah.
maybe on a Friday night.
Not week in, week out driving
Yeah,
300 to
that's
500
it.
kilometers, okay? That's the first thing. They're taking the Pigeons to a race point of 500 kilometers. Pigeons go up to get halfway to the race point and the truck dies. Okay? Why don't they bring the spare truck? For some reason that wasn't done. This is what I heard. And then the president, the vice president, the race secretary, the liberators, whoever in the Eastern Ontario Combine, they made a decision to get a member of the Combine, to get a Combine member that has birds on the truck,
Competitor.
a competitor, a flyer.
That's a
Right?
competitor.
Right, a flyer on the truck with birds on the truck for this race to get his truck, drive up there, pick up the birds, and take them to the race point. Now, that's a pretty good idea, I guess.
Okay, so let me stop you for a minute.
But I'm going to continue.
Yeah,
You're
but
not.
you're already missing stuff.
No, I'm not.
Oh yeah, you're
No,
missing.
I'm going to get into it more.
You're about.
So
I
at
think
thi-
you're going to backtrack in a bit
at,
here.
at this
Yeah.
point, it's okay, fine. Now, I don't really like it that the guy's hauling birds if he's racing in it, and there's an open race involved and whatever.
Is that part
But-
of their club rules? Their combine
I
rules?
don't know.
That you can
But-
let a competitor haul a whole load of birds?
Can you just stop?
Well,
so I can
finish off.
continue.
Finish off.
Thank you.
I think you're missing
So
a lot
yeah,
of shit.
well, if
Okay,
you'd
let's
let
go.
me talk instead of
go.
rambling with your shit story,
okay, go,
then
go,
we'd be
go,
all
go,
right.
go, go.
But you don't
Not a
listen,
shit story.
and now we're going in a
I'm
circle
gonna
because
come-
you're
I'm
telling
gonna
me
come
how.
back with
Yeah.
a lot that
so
you
when
missed.
I'm done,
I'm going to
when
start.
I'm done,
I'll
then
start.
you
I'll
speak.
start. Go.
Stay in your lane.
Go. So now the competitor's hauling the birds.
Look at this.
That's where you ended up.
Did you hear what you're just doing? I told you to be quiet.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get you right where you stopped about the competitors hauling the birds.
Club racing is awesome. There's no losers. Eddie Ortiz. I heard from 4 different guys in different clubs who say the LM members took beaten on past weekend's race. Okay, all right. I'm just looking at the comments. I got to get to the comments because we're taking forever. But please, no fighting, no fighters here. We're not fighting, Eddie. He just doesn't listen. So, anyways, the guy that has birds on the truck, he drove up there like a hero, like Davy Crockett. He was hot to go. Right? We're not going to say who his name is. Not yet. Picks up the birds, leaves the guy that's paid to let the birds out and stay with the birds. He makes a decision to take them not even to the race point. Now, at this point, who's to blame here? The Combine. What is your procedure? Why was this gentleman given the green light to pick up the birds? Why was this gentleman not told the guy that had the truck broke down that's paid, you got to come with me as a witness to let these birds out, stay with the birds, do your thing? What was done? Birds were picked up in North Bay. The birds were driven, not to the race point, but stopped. Then, no sign of anything. Nobody knows what's going on. Then the birds get driven back.
How far did he go up?
He went up 100 miles, but he didn't get to the release point.
No.
He ended up driving back to where the truck was broke down to do the liberation. But he didn't drive back to there. He drove back to that area, North Bay. Now, my question is, the Combine, the EOC Combine, you've got to be better than this. You've got to be better. This is absolutely a crying shame. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but the guy, I guarantee you, he's going to be, I bet you, way up in the Combine. He's going to win it. He's going to win the Combine, but he's going to win it in a way that he's never won all season.
He's a mediocre flyer and a junior member of the club.
Yeah.
Mediocre flyer. Okay? So, are you finished?
Now, Dave Crozier says, good job, Richard. The Raccoon Ryan, show some respect to your dad.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
it's my turn.
You go. I gave the story to them.
Okay, so this combine, EOC combine, is run by a president by the name of Bob, what is it, Waterfall or something?
Okay.
Bob Waterfall. He seems to look like he runs a pretty tight ship. Understand? As we know, a month or two ago or three, he runs a tight one, boys. If your shoes aren't shined, you're out. He got rid of that Bill fella from Peterborough for a reason.
No, it wasn't Bob. It was the Peterborough Club that got rid of him.
Well, he oversees.
This-
Hold on a minute. He oversees the clubs, and I'm sure that he knows about what happened to this Bill guy. Same as this Sam guy. He got ejected, and this Bob guy is supposed to be the president of the combine. And I'm sure he heard. Do you know what happened to him? Do you know what happened to him? He's the president. He should have said, "Wait a minute, I don't think that's right."
What does this have to do
hold
with
on,
this?
I'm going to lead up to this situation. He should have said, "You're right. Get rid of Bill. You're right. Get rid of Sam, because that's not how we run this ship." The other thing is, he bought a trailer, or that combine did, it's called a fifth wheel on a trailer. So that means you got to have a log in the back of your pickup truck, or the fifth wheel. So you back in, and you got the little nipple like on a tractor trailer, slots in, you lock it, and you go. So now, I think if you're a combine, you've got to be able to think, who has a fifth wheel setup on your trailer? Not a lot on your truck. Not a lot of guys have that around. But if you broke down and you have a regular Ford F550 or a Dodge 1500 with the trailer hitch on it, you plug your trailer in, get a trailer like that, man. If nobody has a Dodge or a GM or what the hell it is, a Ford F550, call up Ava Rent-A-Truck. They have them. They just hook up and drag it. No. Now we got to find a guy that has that. Now, meanwhile, what he's talking about, what happened then was they let this jerk, who's a competitor, haul the trailer up with his truck. And then he does some funky monkey moves that's kind of mysterious. I'm just saying, where's the organization? They let a competitor haul the birds up. Come on, with no witness. Come on. You could have had an OPP follow him up.
No, you didn't. You just,
Okay,
when he
no,
picked
but-
that trailer up from the
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
get the guy to lock the truck up. The truck don't run, so no one gonna steal it. Get your ass in the truck with the other guy and finish your job.
Yeah.
Now
that's
they
what
don't. They don't do that.
Or
screen's
or
dead.
the cut. We lost their screen.
We lost the screen. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna
There-
keep talking. Just let
Let me
it.
keep- Or this combine, since they bought the wrong trailer, it's a horse trailer. And, if you break down, you need a guy with a fifth wheel on a pickup truck. Well, how many guys have fifth wheels? Where can you go and rent a truck that has a fifth wheel on it? You can't, okay? So that's another mistake, okay? I think the combine, this Bob guy, this Bob club, get rid of him, Bill. He's a nuisance. I don't like his deodorant. Get rid of him. Get rid of Sam. We don't like him either. Get rid of him. This Bob guy, I'm sure he heard about this, because I heard about it. And he doesn't address that because he figures it's fine and dandy. But what are his rules to have a competitor haul a trailer? Well, through the grapevine, well, this guy here, thanks for him. He just came to a rescue. And by the way, his dad's dying. He didn't have to do that. So, by the way, well, it so happens that apparently
Okay, what? Just
The results are going to show what the competitor. This is a mediocre flyer. I believe you'll see when the results come out. He's going to take the first 19 positions. And there's another Joe in there that's going to maybe get in there with one because you know. But what I'm saying is, and then this
All right.
Bob fella, he should be ashamed of himself to let this competitor do this. Should be.
But hold on.
And then the other thing I heard in the club. I talked to a lot of people.
Can I cut
This
in there?
one guy said, we shouldn't discuss this outside of the club. This is a club issue. Well, wait a minute.
Can we just
Hold on a minute, buddy.
Okay, enough. Just you did good.
Well, the truth hurts, doesn't it?
You did good. You did good there.
No, I'm just saying.
All of these clubs and combines have to have a protocol of what they do when the truck breaks down. A truck breaks down, okay. If we have to get a guy to pick it up and the guy does have birds on the truck, that's not a problem. We have to make sure that there's witnesses that go with the birds. The birds have to go to the release point. And by the way, when you pay for Longlack, you pay for Hearst, you pay for Matheson, get the birds to the release point.
If it means you have to sit the night and wait till next day, you sit the night and you wait till next day. And if it means your combine, which is run by this Bob Waterfall guy or whatever the hell his name is, get a tow truck, man. Hook onto the trailer and take it up to the friggin' race point. Pay it out of your fucking pocket. Mind my language.
All right, I'm going to read some comments. Let's get to the comments. So, Eddie, I'm going to start. No, I'll start. Let me go back. You can't silence my man Ricky. No, you can't. Eddie Ortiz says, typing sucks. All club races took beatings this past weekend, okay? That's because the winds are strong. I am going to import Ricky 7 to Pennsylvania to be my loft manager, okay? Eddie Ortiz says, one guy had his birds well trained to 100 miles 5 times and well trained during the week, 60 miles 2 to 3 times, okay? No fighting, please. Dave Crozier, good job, Ricky. Mike Parrish says, sounds like a clown show, yes. Mansker says, I had a good weekend. 4th, 5th, 6th in the club, 7th, 8th in the club. And I had a 17th place versus 1,800 birds in an OLR. Good job. Alvin says, need your Greyhound to help out Ricky. Yes. You haven't heard.
The old Greyhound will do it.
We need a Greyhound. Yeah, that'll do it real
Believe
good.
it or not, I had a couple whippets one time. I had cats in the yard.
I'm going to finish this.
And
this comments before you start with your whippets.
My own cats.
With your whippets, because now we're going to get on another road.
Okay, go good.
What was the reason he came back after going 100 miles? Well, because here's the thing: when you get the keys to the car, and your name is Oscar DeVries, and you'll do anything to win in a pigeon race, and because you came from Ottawa, where, I hate to say it,
first of all, he was initiated by sperm that came from a Dutchman.
Can I just
told him he was actually
enough.
going to be a Dutchman.
Let me just stick to what I'm saying.
Let's go with it.
Flies in Ottawa.
Yeah.
He does well there.
Right.
But that's Ottawa. It's not here. He comes here to win. He's getting his ass handed to him on both combines, week in, week out. He couldn't win a club race. Couldn't even win in the club.
Mediocre.
Couldn't even win in the club. Look at his results. Go on the Up North Racing Pigeon Combine. Look up Oscar and Linda DeVries. I don't know what Camp's writing about these guys, but they don't know the difference between a pigeon and a cow. Sorry about that, Oscar. That's going to sting. But he took those birds up. He realized the south wind was very strong, and he said, I got to get a win here. And what do I think, or what do I know? Let's see the results of this week's combine, which we'll talk about next week. Watch him destroy the competition first time all year. First time all year.
Destroyed it.
He didn't even destroy it. He raped and pillaged the whole damn thing.
Right.
And I really feel bad for the members of that EOC. I feel bad for Bob Waterfall or Frank or whatever the name
don't
is.
feel for
No,
this Bob
because
guy.
they didn't put in
He turned
something to make this proper. And you know what? The race should be disqualified. The
Done.
race should be disqualified. The
Yeah.
race should be reflown because the speeds weren't right. Nothing was right. From what I'm hearing, now it's only again hearsay.
Yeah.
The paperwork will tell. And you know what we'll do next week? Because I know Oscar and Linda, they always watch the show.
Well, I heard.
We're going to go,
I heard
at the end of this, we're going to
they're-
go through
they're-
their results to see if a little bit of foul play was. We're going to look at his results on both combines. We're going to break them down. Because I'm about breaking things down. That man could cut me off his page, and I did nothing wrong. Promoting the sport of pigeons.
But-
So this man now, guess what? We're going to analyze him. Hold on.
I'd like to invite Oscar and Linda DeVries to come on our show and actually let's discuss it. Okay, let's discuss it. And apparently, Oscar, you have been very, very, I hate to say it, bullyish in the club where you're a junior member. You have shown terribleness as a junior member, and apparently 2 or 3 weeks ago you grabbed your basket viciously and walked out of the club.
But you
Now,
know,
no, but what I'm saying is,
here's the whole thing.
This guy is allowed to haul as a competitor pigeons to a race, and like, wow. Like, and one of his buddies said, well, thank God for him. He came to pick the pigeons up, you know. Oh, hey, guess what? Elliot's towing. Hello, we got a trailer broke down.
Okay.
Hook the trailer and take it up there.
So-
That's all you need to do, man.
But what we're looking at here is you see things that go wrong, off, and mistakes get made, and then those are mine.
Are they? Here,
Yeah.
I'll give you
Yours
some
are
of
over there. No, you ate all yours.
Does it say yours on there?
Well, I didn't have dinner tonight,
Watch what you say.
but you're eating mine.
Watch what you say.
Okay. So, anyways, when you see foul play, you see it.
You want some ice?
Take a look.
Well, it looks like.
And this is where guys in clubs and combines, they want to quit flying because things aren't done in a proper way.
Foul play right off the bat. Bob, let them do it. Bob, let a participant hook on and take the bird birds by himself.
Here's Shane Dennis. Shane is in this club.
You want some ice?
Yeah. Shane's in this club, and he says if he wins by any kind of margin, everyone will know it. It was rigged. No one can be that dumb. Now, Shane says it. All I say is he took the birds up. All he needed was someone with him. They could have done a video release. They could have went to the spot. They could have done it in a proper way and saved the day. And congratulations. But they didn't have the protocol in place. And the president, unfortunately, they made the wrong call. And you know what? They ruined all those members in that combine that put the hard work in. They ruined it. That's sad because pigeon racing is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fair, not cheating.
And then apparently, let me speak a couple words. This Derek Schleifer guy, he's in the club. He said, we shouldn't talk outside the club. Let's keep everything inside the club. Like, are you for real, my friend? Apparently,
What I like is, hold on. This is my club, my pigeon club, right here. You guys are on my club. You're in my club. You're all welcome onto our club. But I know in multiple clubs in our area, people talk about our show. That means you talk about my club in your club. I talk about everyone's club. How many combines do video release? We do it. The Up North Combine finally does it after we called them out on it. Every combine should do it. And I think when people do these video releases, they could do a little bit better job, but that's for another day. 5-finger discount in that race, yeah. And the sad thing was, it was an open race. It just wasn't done right. And I'm sure Bob or Frank or whoever, they didn't do that on purpose. They just didn't slow down and think. And that's all you got to do. So, I mean, if I offended you in any way, I'm sorry. Just do things, get things set up properly. And then you don't have this problem. And it's okay that a truck breaks down. And it's fine that someone that has birds on there has to go and get it. But make sure that there is someone with them, either another combine member or the guy driving the truck, and do it properly. And that's it. That's all. That's pigeon flying. But I can see why people get bent out of shape. I see why people are upset. And we look at the results. And that's it. Results will be fun. It gives us something to talk about. And guys, this isn't the only time this has happened. I'm sure all over North America, it's happened before. It's like, hey, let's not forget old Jimmy Ward. He got $1 million pigeon race going on, and he's driving down the road with a pigeon trailer that's ready for the scrapyard. And he's making $1 million. Now hold on. Jimmy Ward, I know he watches the show. Jimmy, I hope you're having lasagna tonight. But Jimmy watched our show, and you know what he did? He went out and spent $80,000 on a new pigeon trailer.
Well,
that's the power of this show.
Okay.
And what I don't want to keep going on.
no,
We're talking about
I'm
other
going to
stuff.
end it. I'm going to end it. What happened with this EOC unit this weekend? We don't have to look at results. It's Bob, the man who is the president of the organization.
Right. We just
Right,
said
hold
that.
on. He allowed a participant in the race to take the pigeons over and haul them to where they didn't even go to release point. He went up 100 miles further north, turned around and came back. Who knows what happened, but I'm saying, Bob, you should never have allowed that to happen.
Well, we already said that.
So that's it. We don't have to look at results. But we're going to look at results just to see how sneaky maybe Mr. whatever his name is. We'll see.
And that's good.
That's it.
That's good. And I think I'm going to think on behalf of, I'm going to put myself in as the president over there. I think what really happened, okay, because they don't have anything in a code of what they do. When the truck guy calls you at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, and says, my truck's broke down, you start to panic and you don't think what you're doing because you don't have a protocol put in. And you know what? I'm sure Bob, Frank, or whoever the president is, he's not a bad guy. They just made a few incorrect moves. And it ruins the integrity of that combine, of that race. People that had their birds set up, people that paid into the open, it got screwed
An
up.
open
Now,
race. People trained to go to Matheson. That's a 300-mile race.
Randy Nerkel says, I'm pretty sure a tow truck can pull a trailer with livestock on it. If the real trucker was getting paid, he should have gone. Yes, had to go with the guy. I definitely think it was a bad decision from a competitor to drive and release the pigeons. Yet it doesn't seem fair and sounds really fishy. If he had a good showing this year, kicked his ass on race and release. Now, basically what Randy Nerkel is saying is, we're 100% right. Now, I think that combine, I think they can fix this, eh?
Cancel the race.
I think they should redo the race, get the truck back and running.
That's it.
And let's do it again.
100%. Man.
Listen, it's okay.
Hey, listen, I'm not a president of a combine, and neither is Ryan, and neither are maybe a lot of you. Let's have a president of a combine please come on the show and talk about what we're talking about. But soon I heard that. That's like, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. This is a competitor, and this is like, I'm sorry. And this guy, Oscar guy, he's flying very mediocre, and he's hot-headed, and does stuff that's terrible at the club.
No,
and that's,
okay.
that's why that Schrader guy, or whatever his name is, what's his name?
Just leave that.
He said, let's not talk about this shit outside the club. Well, I'll tell you something.
Okay.
It's because
Can you
they're trying to hide this
can-
friggin' guy.
No.
No, it's true. That Derek
Listen,
Schleifer guy.
on this show, I talk about what I want to talk about because it's my club.
I'm here to talk
Right.
as well.
And I don't really care what the other clubs say. I don't agree with people, but I at least stand up for what I believe in, as we do.
We all thought
It's
that
a little
this
odd.
was kind of weird that a competitor's taking the truck up, and then he's not going to a race point, and he's going up, turning around, coming back 100 miles, and then what? The guy with his own truck is gone because he got it hooked somewhere, took it away, and he's got the birds, and all of a sudden he's like, boom, superstar. This one race,
And here's the best
can't
thing.
believe it.
Here's the best thing. The Up North Combine,
Uh-huh.
they had a truck in Matheson releasing the birds.
That's where the EOC was supposed to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
They released their birds. Why in the world wouldn't the EOC just take their trailer, like just at the end of the season every year, and say, yeah, the Matheson races will go up with you. We'll go up with you. Why hold 2 trailers up when you can do it with 1? But the best part is, the birds in the Up North Combine were released in Matheson. And this ding-dong, Mr. DeVries, gotta call him a ding-dong.
Stand up for yourself, Oscar. Come on the show.
He won't. Because he knows why. He didn't drive there. He got halfway there and he said the fog was too thick. So he made the corporate decision to drive, turn around, and go back. I don't know who this guy thinks he is.
What did he do?
He's a junior member in this combine. He's a junior member in the Up North Combine. I'm not part of any of these combines, but I'll say something.
So we've
in
been around
Pigeonport,
pigeons for 60-something years.
This man, he's a cancer to clubs and combines that he becomes a part of. He ruins them. Oh, and by the way, ask Jim McGinnis, ask Tony Elvis, ask Neil Gonzalez about Oscar DeVries and how he ruins the clubs and the combines. And you know what? The Port of Peterborough Club, whoever the president is, it's Tony Popolo. You've had Oscar DeVries in your club for 1 season. You can come on the show, Tony, and you can tell me what you think of his attitude, his aggression, his domination. You tell me, are all those people that he ruined other clubs and combines? All of them. They all say the same thing. He's a pig and he's a bastard. Oscar, I know that's going to hurt you, bud, but you're always welcome here on this show to defend yourself. What a good show tonight.
We don't cut you off the show, Oscar, like you cut us off your show. We welcome you to come on. Welcome. Come on.
And guys, take a look at what they say. No matter how you look at it, it's not fair. I don't like the look. That's right. It's not fair. And pigeon racing is supposed to be fair. I had a guy yesterday. He was so discouraged. He's a new flyer. He's in that combine. And do you know what he said? I'm done. I'm going to just fly one-loft races. And I'm going to do that because this is cheating. This isn't right. And you want to know what, Oscar? You may win this race, and good for you, because we all have to win, and we got to find ways to win. But what you did, Mr. DeVries, was you took a new pigeon flyer, and in Canada, pigeon sport, it's choking. You know what you did? You made that guy quit. So you really won well. Good job, Oscar and Linda DeVries. And I know something else. If somebody else was hauling that truck, and they win, you would call foul. Like you took the old guy's national win away from him. You did that because you wanted to win. You called foul.
But
So
he got him on a technicality.
yeah, I call Oscar DeVries on this one a foul. Step down, cancel the race, and you know what? You don't need to go to Matheson. Race it over for the year. But that's not the way to win. It's a bad look on the sport, says Mike Green. Randy Nurgle says, love to see him come on and try to defend himself. Listen, he won't come. He won't acknowledge if I'm in a room that I'm there. He will not. He doesn't have those things between his legs. His wife does, but not him. And I'm sorry to say that, but a bad egg that needs to, I think, in pigeon sport, be removed. And being a new member in a new area, bullying people, taking stuff into your own hands, congratulations, you got a fifth wheel on your truck. There were some mistakes made. They need to be corrected. And you know what? I hope the EOC...
He should have told Bob,
Look!
I will haul it, Bob.
Look.
I will haul it, Bob. But I want 2 witnesses with me, Bob, when I haul it. Because if by chance I take the first 15 positions, Bob, I don't want to be alone on liberation. And the other thing, did this Oscar DeVries, did he give the birds water?
We don't know anything.
He believes...
He's not a professional liberator.
He says,
He's not a professional
water.
liberator. He's not a professional liberator. He wasn't hired to liberate those pigeons. Hold on. Look at Frank Yanknet. I don't even know Frank. I've talked to him a few times. He writes, he killed the Ottawa Combine. And mark today's date. Alexa, what is today's date?
It's Monday, September 23rd.
September 23rd. In 2 years' time from now, the Up North Racing Pigeon Combine, the biggest one in Canada. I think Bruce Badon, you're the president, Bruce. That combine that's so big in 2 years will be divided in half. Half of them will be flying in the Niagara Combine because Mr. DeVries, he will destroy that combine. And mark my words, but within 2 to 3 years, watch. Andy Pilata, am I right? Having a hard time getting along with him in your club. And Andy Pilata and Mike Pilata, we might not see eye to eye, but you keep going in that club, Skoogog Club, and you keep burying him into the ground. You beat him, and you beat him, and you beat him. And you know what? You just smile. Because he couldn't handle you, and he showed it this year. Like old Bob Bodden said, the birds just wobble. And Mike and Andy Pilata, good job. You did good. And I hear there's already rumblings of arguing there. But you watch. He's going to kill that Up North Combine. He's going to divide it into 2 within 2 to 3 years. And I don't like to make these shows about people, but this is stuff that we talk about. This is real pigeon shit. And you know what? I'm sure in Mike Green Combine, and Frank Yanknet's Combine, and 4C's Loft's Combine, Master Breeder, Eddie Ortiz, and their combines, they have guys that try and do these same things. They bully, they push, and it's not right. And guys, it's okay in a combine, the president maybe make a mistake, but it should be in the rules. Hey, this is what we have to do to make it right. And make it right.
The president made a mistake.
Yeah, and just that's okay. We make mistakes,
Yeah, but
fix it.
why should this race go on? It should be canceled. Why should this participant handle this? That's it. The president should have said, like I said, you can pull the truck, bud. No problem. We're going to have 2 guys ride with you in your truck. We'll send them up by taxi cab or wherever the hell we got to get them up there to witness it.
Do you want to
or
know-
call OPP police to follow the trailer up and make sure it's liberated at that race point, not jacked around. How many guys on that trailer maybe didn't even get any birds?
But what I'm going to say is I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care about the EOC Combine. I don't have any birds there. But I hope the EOC members that have felt wrong done by, not the results, but wrong done by how it was all handled. I hope they put a complaint in to the president and say, this is not fair, this needs to be rectified, and let's fix it.
Immediately.
Please do not sit back and say, I don't want to voice my opinion. Your opinion matters. Your opinion matters because if you don't fix it today, it will happen next year again and the year after that. And one day, you're going to blow a gasket. So I hope Shane and Lance and Tony Popolo and Jim McGinnis and Sean Whetstone and I'm trying to think of guys. John Fentanyl there, or Fennel that races in Ottawa. I hope you guys, if you can see it and you don't feel good about it, voice your opinion and get it fixed. Because your birds that you trained hard and you've put the work in, they deserve the respect to have a proper, fair pigeon race.
Even if this Oscar character was last on the truck.
First or last, it doesn't matter.
The last guy on the truck. He shouldn't have been allowed to do what he did on his own. But Bob allowed him to rob the bank. Go in and rob it. And that's exactly what Bob did. Bob wasn't thinking. He was, maybe he got
It doesn't matter.
a free box of cookies or something.
No.
But hey,
but it doesn't matter.
Bob ignored it.
It doesn't matter. The point is, guys, in your combines, and in any combine, if you see something that's not going right, don't be afraid to voice your opinion. I believe you should. You have that right. And you know what? Sometimes, I hate to say it, you have to speak for your pigeons. Your pigeons can't speak.
That's right.
Okay? And that's what I said. If the guy that come dead last doesn't feel that it was right, or the guy that won doesn't feel it was right, and the guys in between don't feel it was right, then the race should be
The guy that was
squashed.
dead last on the truck has still a mind of his own.
That's right.
And think. You have a mind of your own. I'm not even in the damn combine. But I heard about it, and it just burned my, the thing there, it just burned it.
Yeah.
I said, Jesus Christ, this isn't right. Holy mackerel. This is not right. What's going on?
Hey, and guys, that was this week's Club Rant. And again, we've had 2 or 3 weeks of ripping on Mr. DeVries. And we're not ripping on him. He just sets himself up to get ripped on. Because he doesn't do things properly. And you know what? I know when I was a little kid, I got bullied. And bullying is the worst. It's the worst
You must
thing.
have got bullied a lot, this
No.
guy.
This guy coming, again, he's bullying a lot of clubs, a lot of combines, a lot of people. Bully. You know what? Not one son of a bitch will stand up to this guy. And I'll tell you this.
He's even got bullying, false advertising on the internet, or whatever you call it, advertising that he's the best flyer in Canada. Go look at the advertisement. Is that not correct? That's a bullying bullshit.
I always remember, though, Tony Elvis said something. And he said, guys, some of these guys are master of the penmanship, of the writing. He wrote he was the champion in Canada. That's what he wrote. But results, we don't like. Well, look at the results. We're going to get to the end of the season and look at results. And again, guys are coming to the end of the season. Guys are getting angry. Guys are getting frustrated. It's okay, guys. The season, you're going to come in now to winter. Breeding's going to start again. You revamp yourself. Randy Nerkel says, yes, all club members and combine members should be pissed and put in a complaint. Stand up and defend your pigeons and the sport.
Your pigeons, exactly what he said. For your pigeons.
For your
And
pigeons.
Have some son of a gun.
Right.
Screw my pigeons around.
And people say, there's times when you have to stand up. Oscar would never survive in New York. No, he wouldn't survive. He only can survive where he bullies, and I see how he bullies. And I'm not, you know what? I'll stand up for the people. But the people, eventually, if you don't stand up North Combine, Eastern Ontario Combine, you read exactly what Frank Yanknett writes. He killed the Ottawa Combine. And the Ottawa Combine used to have quite a few members. It's done. They're on the they're on the EOC truck now with 10 guys.
Wow.
Hey, what can we say?
All we're gonna say is,
Wish he met me. Hey, Alfred, if he met you, you would scratch your head. He has no voice, no power, but he is a snake in the grass. I know from when I heard stories, and again, this is just stories, but it's funny, all the stories end up being true, and now he's here in this area, and I really feel bad for those combine people. They're gonna see what happens when you let the devil in, the bad devil, eh? How was the other races in your area on the weekend? We're going to look, because this was a nice weekend. Out of all the Young Bird races, what I thought was great about this weekend was it was a 15 to 20 kilometer or a 10 to 14 mile an hour headwind. Straight headwinds. And most of the combines, except for the EOC, were flying 500 kilometers, 300 mile roughly racing. And we're going to look at it. I mean, obviously, we're going to see the results, and we're going to talk about it next week on the show. But what a great race weekend for guys that got to fly.
It was a working weekend for the birds. A lot of guys in the 500 kilometer, 300 mile race, they didn't get daybirds. It was tough.
It was tough.
The birds had to work in that headwind, and that to me is a good race. I like to see that race.
Hey, a Young Bird race that's between 8 and 10 hours, that's excellent.
Perfect. And when you get birds that, especially at you had birds that flew all season, and you got some hen birds that flew 10 hours on the wing from 500 clicks. Those are the pigeons that are worth keeping. Not those pigeons that flew, with a tailwind of 15 mile an hour or whatever kilometers an hour, blow home pigeons. No, those pigeons worked. And those pigeons are worth keeping.
And I'll say this, for one-loft races, these guys that say they train hard and this and that, I challenge the one-loft races. I don't care how you train them. Train them how you want. Make the 100 mile, the 200 mile, the 300, whatever it is, whatever your course is, do however you want. But on the final race, there should be a rule in place that says we have to go when the wind
is in the tail. Or in the head.
In the head. And it has to be over a certain amount, over 5 miles an hour or 7 kilometers, whatever. And that's when your final race is. And see what pigeons come. You will see how the guys that train the pigeons, if they put the work in, you will see all that. And it makes better pigeons. And you guys want better pigeons. Anyways, hold on. My bird had a tailwind to cap. My bird had a tailwind to cap. Okay, Frank, you had a tailwind. Maybe you did. But anyways,
but you want to, some birds get tailwinds and they do very well, real well. And the same pigeons you put to a headwind, they win because they're that type of a pigeon. But you take a lot of pigeons that go in tailwinds and you put them to a headwind, they can't handle that shit.
And it's so funny, like you see different parts of North America here, but Mike Green's in Idaho, and they're going to start their club and combine racing now. And here in our area, they're at the end of it. We got another week maybe of open
Green,
races.
Why don't you, Mike, send us a bag of potatoes? Don't they have the Idaho potatoes?
They do. 100% right. Yes, that's right. And one-loft races, if they did go to this headwind system for the finals,
wow,
there would be no more big drops where you would get the first 20 birds. They'll come to, you would really see the pigeons. But I know why the guys don't want to do it. I know. And you guys know as well. It's one thing.
People going to one-loft races, they've come to watch it. They want to see their pigeons come home. Mm-hmm. That's the big issue. Now, in my loft, if I put a pigeon to a 500 mile race, or 500 kilometer, 300 mile race, a young bird, and I put 20 pigeons there, I feel happy if it's a headwind. If I get 5 home, I
Yeah.
go good. Mr. Basket, they're all ready to go. Mr. Basket, just help me out. Good. I only want those 5 pigeons, right?
Yeah,
I don't want blow home pigeons.
That's
I
right.
don't want sunny day pigeons. I don't want them.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, it's great to have the sunny days and it's great to have the tailwinds, but the real test of pigeons and what you want to breed from, it comes in the days when they have to work. Mike Green says, I normally start early, but had too many fires around, so getting 3 weeks later. Oh, okay. I think this is a pretty good show tonight. What do you guys think? Ricky, think about it, guys. First time ever in the middle of a show, chickens are going crazy. Ricky Crockett comes out and shoots a raccoon.
Right in the forehead. He's just standing there, and my chickens are going nuts because they're all perched up, right?
Yeah.
You could hear the chickens from here, couldn't you?
We
They're starting to scream and they're yapping and yapping. We need help. We
Yeah.
need help. We got a problem here. I opened the friggin' door up, and he's standing there right in the middle of the hallway, just looking at me. I just picked the rifle up. Bang. Boom. Done. Now, take a look at my shoulder. Is there a bruise on it?
Yeah, there
There's
is.
quite a bruise now.
You know what? You should have told me because I would have brought the camera.
We could have done a
We
video.
could have had that. That would have made us gone viral.
Well, I'm going to skin them, and we're going to eat them on the next show. We're going to make a roast or a stew.
Mike Green says, usually head and crosswinds here in Idaho. So what we're going to do, I think, for next week is we're going to break down the clubs and combines around and take a little look and see who was the top flyers in these combines. And
But the beginner guys, please don't get discouraged. You know what? When you're starting as a beginner in anything you do, you know, you think you got a real nice looking car and an old car, and you take it to the car show, and then people start cutting it up. Say, well, you got a little bump there and a little rust over here, and underneath the exhaust pipe's not hanging right. And you know what? You thought it was a winner, and sorry, but you're not going to win a prize. And then you drive away and you get all upset and all that. You know, you got to take those lumps.
yeah,
You know, there's they call them those damn lumps. You know, and
it's good to lose. You learn a lot about yourself when you lose. If you can get back up and keep trying.
Losing is a depressive time, and depression is very good for the human. You have to learn to deal with depression. That's good for you. If you can't deal with depression, what happens is, in the end, you could become suicidal. You understand me? So, deal with depression. It's very, very good for you. And it's part about being a winner. Right? 100%.
That's right.
And that's it, right? So,
And
but it burns your butt when some sucker beats you.
the not fair way.
Not fair way. That really burns your butt.
And you know what? Again, we're going to wrap this show up here.
We're going to have to wrap it up soon.
We're going to wrap it up. I do want to say thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. Good show. I'm going to say to the Eastern Ontario members, all 30 or 40 or 50 of them, stand up for what's right. Defend your pigeons. And, we got Eddie Ortiz has a quick comment. I'm going to read this. I wanted to comment last week on the show, The Droppers. I normally do not feed or water them a day before, so I know they'll drop and run in quick. I seen some guys toss droppers. It was a circus. Yeah.
Well, you're actually very experienced dropper fellow, Ryan, because you've been in this household for a long time. And I find when you don't need to starve droppers and do this with droppers. I find when you take a dropper and just throw them from the chair to the board, And depends if your board's, let's say, 30 feet away from you or something. Just throw them gently low. He goes right to the board. If you take the dropper and you throw them up, it's not good.
So, well, if you
Yeah.
listen, and I'll say something. If you have droppers and you're playing with them, you're practicing with them at home.
Yeah.
You say, I'm going to try throwing a few up. You see, hey, some droppers will do it nice. Some droppers, you throw them up and they'll do a circle or they do something wrong. They don't do it. Learn the ways and learn what droppers are good to throw. Now, again, if you're basking your birds on a Friday, right? Basket your droppers at the same time. Let them sit in the basket for the night, and in the morning or in midday, they'll be ready to work with.
But you know as well as I do, Ryan, if you don't mind me interrupting, I've seen you use the same dropper 3 or 4 times in an event.
Well, because
Is
they're
is that not correct?
yeah,
Yeah,
and they have all the food inside they want. Because I don't need the dropper to go in the loft, but they do.
You need it right to go to the board.
I need it to go to the spot, hit the board.
Yeah.
And normally droppers, they'll be on the board, the ones that we use, within a minute or two. Boom, boom, they go in, and they get used to it. The more you use them, they get used to it. They like to go in. They like to go in. And I normally like my little droppers to have eggs and little babies, and because it's even more incentive, they like to go in. They like to go in.
That's right. The other thing too, Ryan, is I know you have your dropper certificate.
I got it.
You have it. You got it.
I do.
But if let's say you're tossing your dropper to the board and it happens to be that day in a tailwind for your dropper, but your bird's coming on a headwind, right?
Yeah.
If you put your dropper out, the tailwind behind him is going to push him up. Do you understand me?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
got.
so, I mean, to get your dropper certificate, you actually, one of us can go and judge you.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so, you know what I mean?
Hey,
It's like,
Mike Green said, and I think Mike, you hit it right on. The more trained the droppers, the better. And training your droppers, it's part of
it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
It's really part of the fun.
And I will say, the droppers are great. The old manual clocks were great because it got the guy and the pigeon to work together. The guy had to get the pigeons in. He had to take the bands off, put them in the clock. That was a lot more fun than with the electronic clocks.
Yeah.
But if you have an electronic clock and you learn how to use droppers, it kind of gives you another. You're bringing the birds down.
yeah.
It's better.
And the other thing, believe it or not, droppers, if you have them, they're nice to look at. You don't have to be a professional show dropper guy. You just like to look at them. You're like a kid in a candy store. You're going, oh man, these droppers, look at that one, look at this one, it's real nice. You throw the dropper and, you get, it's really a nice sideline other than being focused on let's race pigeons and make them race and make them win. Because now you got your droppers and you play around with them. It's beautiful. They're very nice. And then you got all these different colors. You got all different tail feathers, that come in all different colors and all that stuff.
A lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun when you toss the droppers. And I'm telling you, when you see a pigeon coming way up, you see him coming, and you throw that dropper, that pigeon just, and if he makes a half a turn, you throw another dropper out. By that time,
Boom.
he's bang, right on the board.
Right on the board. And like my friend in Florida, Gallo, says, when my birds come, it's like I shoot them out of the sky. Poof. And he said all he uses is the droppers. He's got 25 droppers or 30 droppers, just one after another. Boom, boom, boom. Guys, droppers are a cheat code. I promise you.
I'll tell you, I knew a friend, he passed away, God, he must have passed away 20 or 30 years ago. Herb Case, top tippler flyer. And unbelievable. I went to visit him one day and it was steady rain all day. Rain, rain, rain. I got goosebumps just talking about it. And I went over and I said, was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I went over to visit him. I said, yeah, he had a kid of birds flying. He had half a dozen birds flying. I said, oh, it was raining. I says, oh, Herb, how long are they going to fly? He said, I only let them fly for exercise 6 hours a day. That's it.
Okay.
I bring them down.
Okay.
I said, okay. Pouring, steady pouring rain. I'm telling you. He walked out in his yard, and he had 3 Indian fantails. Not the show fans, Indian fans. Which they don't stand up in the front like that. You know, the tail's a little bit like this. He stands in his yard. He throws one fantail. The tipplers automatically come down about 50 feet, 100 feet. He then throws another fantail. Tipplers come down again. By the time he threw that third fantail, the tipplers were on the board. And I couldn't believe the condition on these pigeons flying in the rain. They landed on the board and they were doing this with their wings like they were bathing. I couldn't believe it when I said, "Oh, he's jumping, Herb."
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he used the fantails as a dropper, right?
That's right. And
The Indian fans, they work perfectly.
right. And guys, you find out what droppers you like. And you know the great thing is, you can have as many of them as you want. But I will give you guys a tip. If you have
50?
If you have 20, 30, great. You have more to play with. And reminder, guys, train. You know, you're watching those birds for the first hour and a half coming home. Every bird should get a dropper so they stimulate a winning feeling.
Yeah.
And it's good for your droppers, and it's good for the birds that come late to feel that, because
You're 100%
next week
right.
they'll be your first bird. Now, hey, you don't have to take our advice, but we want to give you a little cheat code. That's a good cheat code. Enjoy it.
And you know what? You have droppers, and if you have children, the kids love the droppers. Grandchildren,
Look at Mike Green.
they love
Mike
looking at
Green
droppers.
says, my kids love droppers. There you
And
go.
they're very tame.
Yeah.
Droppers are tame, and they also make good pumpers. If you want to switch eggs to a dropper, go and put your hand in a nest box where droppers are sitting. They'll beat the daylights out of your hand. They are so determined to be good parents.
Yeah. Well, I think on that note, we're going to wrap this up. We've been on for almost 2 hours. So, good show tonight. We're going to continue to train the one-loft birds. Hopefully, we might get an activation in this week. We'll see how the weather goes. Guys, thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for coming on. And remember, no matter where you are, stand up for what's right. Speak for your pigeons respectfully.
What's his name? Bob Marley. He wrote a song.
Yeah. Stand up for your rights.
Stand up for your rights.
Good old Bob Marley. He wasn't wrong, was he?
Oh, he was 100% right. Stand up
Yep.
for your rights.
Stand up
for
for your
what
rights.
you believe.
Now, let's see if that combine makes an adjustment. On that note, that's Ricky. I'm Ryan. You guys have been great tonight. We'll see you on again next Monday, where we'll talk pigeons. We'll look at some results, and we'll go from there. Good luck to all the participants in the Upper Canada one-loft race there. I think they're going to start the money races now. Good luck. Somebody's going to be a winner. Hopefully it's you. Have a great evening, guys, and
All the best.
see you next Monday. Bye for now.